who is the chief spokesperson of this party, would give us a presentation. He is going to be our anchor for this engagement, and he is going to bring out some critical decisions taken by the National Council of the New Patriotic Party, and that is the second highest decision-making body of the party. And he is mandated by the party's constitution to speak on behalf of the National Council. The National Council last Thursday met. The National Council took some important decisions. Before then, we have the Deputy Communication Directors in our list. We have our own MP for New Government South, Honorable Michael Ochibefi, is also here with us. And the person, as I said, to anchor this media engagement for us is our own General Secretary of the New Patriotic Party. So let's welcome the General Secretary of the New Patriotic Party. He's going to deliver in English, after which he will also summarize the entire presentation in P. It's Yadamasi, it's Bacho, Enyafuti, Mr. Movement, no, Yentu Kakra, now phones on the zone, you welcome the General Secretary of the New Patriotic Party.
Thank you, National Organizer. Friends from the media, ladies and gentlemen, I welcome all of you to the headquarters of the New Patriotic Party. Today's press conference is in two folds. The first one has to do with state of events in the country, and the second one has to do with the National Council meeting that was held last week Friday, 25th, and the decisions that were taken at the National Council. I start on a sad note. As we are all aware of the painful demise of our legend, our icon, Charles Kodua, popularly referred to as Daddy Lumba, who passed away on Saturday. Indeed, for us in the New Patriotic Party, it's a very difficult moment for us, very painful moment for us, very disheartening moment for us. We have had a special relationship with our brother, and he's someone who has helped tremendously in our campaigns. If you all recall, in 2008, he came out with so far one of the best campaign songs this country has ever had, Nana Yerina Track, which played a very key role in our campaign activities. Together with the remix that came on in 2008, 2012, and 2016. Indeed, his love for this country and how he carried himself in the last 30 years since he came to the scene. The songs have traveled both far and near. And indeed, the songs inspired so many people. Indeed, the songs even save lives. And today, as we all mourn on his demise, on behalf of the New Patriotic Party, our thoughts and prayers are with his family, friends, and fans. And indeed, may his soul rest in perfect peace until the last day of resurrection. Amen. Yesterday, our party also celebrated its 33rd anniversary. And the party has lined up several programs which, in the course of the week, we will inform the general public. There are several issues that are happening in this country that the New Patriotic Party is very worried and has necessitated the need for us to also address the media. The first one is the drought currently happening in the northern part of our country that is affecting our farmers. We sympathize with our farmers. We know they are going through challenging times because of the drought. And indeed, it's going to affect the farming season. We are calling on the government, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and the NDC government, to pay or give special attention to our farmers who are going through these difficult moments, and for the government to also come out with a package that will also cushion them. The issue of Boku crisis is something that is very worrying. It's something that we in the New Patriotic Party is very extremely concerned about. Human lives are being lost each and every day. Innocent students are being murdered each and every day. Innocent citizens are also losing their lives each and every day. All not because of their own choice, but because of where they find themselves in, and also because of a particular tribe that they belong to. Indeed, it should serve as a caution to the NDC government that in politics, it is not everything that we allow propaganda, misrepresentation to lead us. Most importantly, when it has to do with issues of chieftaincy, when it has to do with issue of religion, when it has to do with issue of ethnicity or tribe, it's something that politicians we need to tread cautiously. Ladies and gentlemen, if you recall, prior to the 2024 elections, the NDC, in their desperate attempt to win elections, said all manners of things, citing tribalism, religious divisions, creating problems even in our traditional setup, all in their quest to win the 2024 elections. To the extent that the then candidate, Mahama, made several pronouncements and wanted to take advantage of the crisis in Boku by accusing the then government, led by His Excellency Nana Dr. Akufo-Addo and Dr. Muhammadu Bawumia, that when the NDC comes to power, Boku crisis will be resolved. And in fact, if we see or we realize issues that happened in Boku prior to the 2024 elections, you can tell that indeed the NDC orchestrated several tribal issues in Boku. And that is why we find ourselves in this unprecedented crisis in Boku. But for us in the New Patriotic Party, for the sake of our democracy, for the sake of people's lives that matters, we are ever ready to assist the government in finding a lasting solution in Boku. And therefore, we are calling on the NDC government to treat this matter as a matter of national interest and shield away their political tendencies and interests, and to call all other political parties, especially the New Patriotic Party, to a roundtable discussion for us to look at a lasting solution to the Boku crisis. And I can assure you, anytime they reach out to the New Patriotic Party for the sake of this country, we will open our doors and have a round discussion with them to find a lasting solution to Boku crisis. We will continue to commend the Asantehene and the eminent chiefs who have taken the initiative to provide a lasting solution to Boku crisis. But they cannot achieve all this if political parties don't come together to give them the helping hand and support. So I will reiterate again, the New Patriotic Party is ready to sit on the round table with the NDC government for the sake of lives, for the sake of properties in Boku, so that at least we have a lasting solution. Again, we are also calling on the government to address the issue of galamsey in this country. In fact, what we are witnessing in the last 6-7 months of the NDC government is unprecedented. The manner in which people who are associated with the NDC, their party executives, their members are moving around freely and going into our forest reserves, going into water bodies to do galamsey, and even to the extent of driving away security agencies or officers from well-protected sites because they want to do galamsey is alarming. In fact, what we have witnessed in the last 7 years is so worse, so bad, and so dangerous for our country that we never witnessed such in the last 8 years of the NPP government. It's a shame. And we are calling on civil society organizations, our clergy, our CSOs, to stand up, to rise up, and speak against what is happening to our water bodies and forest reserves. Indeed, if in the last 8 years they saw something wrong with the galamsey menace, then they should see something worse as happening under the NDC government. And we are calling on them to speak against it. The other issue has to do with selective justice and abuse of power going on under this government. For the first time in our history, we are witnessing the reckless and politically motivated suspension of a sitting Chief Justice. This disgraceful act is a direct attempt to cripple judicial independence and bend the course to serve the agenda of the ruling party. Indeed, it is a dangerous precedent that threatens the very foundation of our democracy. We are not surprised by recent pronouncements of some of the courts. And we are all in this country and we know what is happening. That certain judgments being given by the courts are very questionable judgments. And indeed, it goes to betray the suspicion and the point that we are making, that it is a well-orchestrated attempt by this government to have an overbearing effect on our judicial system. And it's a shame for our democracy. We call on our judges to stand firm. They should not allow political parties, particularly the government of the day, to dictate to them as to how to administer justice. Indeed, they saw an oath of office to protect and safeguard fundamental human rights and to protect our constitution. And we call on them to stand by it, to abide by it, and to stand firm, and not allow political parties to determine their judgments. Ladies and gentlemen, as I indicated to you last week, Friday, the National Council held a meeting. One issue that came up was Akwatia by-elections. And I can assure you, the New Patriotic Party is ready and will fully take part in the by-elections. A committee was set up by National Council, which referred to as the Elections Committee of Akwatia, chaired by the regional chairman, the regional secretary as secretary. We have some revered members of parliament, Honorable Ochre Befi, New Dublin South. We have Honorable Abnas Osei being member, Honorable Kennedy Osei Nako being member, Honorable Kodua also being member, the former MCE at Akwatia also be a member, to look and see how best we can select a candidate for the Akwatia by-elections. And indeed, they reached out to potential people who have shown interest to contest the Akwatia on the ticket of the MPP. And through consensus, through deliberations and discussions, they agreed to settle on one person. And that is why there was no, or there isn't any parliamentary primaries at Akwatia. And we must commend the committee for a good job done. And the National Party will continue to provide all the needed assistance to the committee to make sure that the New Patriotic Party retain our seats in Akwatia constituency. Today, being 29th of July, in line with Article 13 of the New Patriotic Party's Constitution, I'm happy to announce to you that we have officially opened nominations for our party members who aspire to become presidential candidates of our party for the 2028 elections. However, there are some guidelines that I need to bring to your attention. First and foremost, the presidential primaries shall be held on Saturday, January 31, 2026. And as I've indicated, nomination is open today, July 29, 2025, and shall close on Thursday, August 28, 2025. An aspiring presidential candidate can procure the nomination forms after the payment of a non-refundable application fee of 100,000 Ghana cedis. So the application fees is 100,000 Ghana cedis. And it must be done through a banker's draft issued in favor of the New Patriotic Party, National Headquarters, Accra. Again, an aspiring presidential candidate shall pay a non-refundable filing fee of 500,000 Ghana cedis. And the payment must also be done through a banker's draft issued in favor of the New Patriotic Party, National Headquarters, Accra. To successfully file your nomination, an aspirant is required to pay a compulsory development fee that will be determined by the National Council. And the forms can procure from the General Secretary's office here at the party headquarters. Indeed, in accordance with Article 13(1)(11) of the Constitution of the NPP and the motion on transitional clause adopted at the National Annual Delegates Conference, Accra, on Saturday, July 19, the following delegates shall elect the party's presidential candidate. 1. All members of the National Council. 2. All voting members of National Executive Committee. 3. All voting members of Regional Executive Committees. 4. All former regional executives. 5. All voting members of the constituency executive committees. 6. All former constituency executives. 7. All electoral area coordinators. 8. The 5 polling station executive officers in each polling station. Though there has been amendment to our polling station setup to increase it from 5 to 7. But because the current executive tenure office will elapse after February, therefore the new inclusion will take effect after February. So kindly take note. 9. All members of the National Council of Elders. 10. The 30 members of the National Council of Patrons. 11. All the party members of Parliament. 12. All the party former card-bearing members of Parliament. 13. All former party card-bearing parliamentary candidates. 15. Past national officers. 16. Free representative of each of the special organs of the party. 16. All external branch executive committee members. 17. All former external branch executive committee members. 18. Founding members who are signatories to the registration documents of the party at the Electoral Commission. So, friends from the media, this group will constitute the Electoral College to elect our presidential candidate for the 2028 elections come January 31, 2026. In order to ensure a smooth elections, National Council further constituted the Presidential Elections Committee to steer the affairs of the campaign, all issues bordering the elections towards the election of a presidential candidate. And the committee for the Presidential Elections Committee are as follows. We have Honorable Joseph Osei-Wusu, former Member of Parliament for Bekwai as chairman. We have Mr. Pamina Abankwayebua as member, Mr. William Yamua as member secretary, Madam Rita Talata Asobare as member, Her Excellency Barbara Benisa as member. We have Honorable Isaac Yabuama as member. We have Mr. Ampofu Eduse as member, Madam Ifwa Dechua as member, and Mr. Evans Nimakon as a member. So it's a 9-member Presidential Elections Committee. Again, National Council also constituted the vetting committee for the Presidential Elections Committee. For the chairman for the vetting committee, we have Dr. Kwame Adokufo, a revered and staunch member of our tradition, former member of Parliament for Menchia, and also a member of our National Council of Elders. So Dr. Kwame Adokufo chairs the vetting committee. We have Mr. Stephen Abankwas Secretary as a member. We have Honorable Osei Bonsu Amwa, Honorable Obi Amwa, former Member of Parliament for Kiaprin South as a member. We have Madam Rita Talata Sobare as member, Lawyer Frank Davis as member, Honorable Kwesi Amwakwata as a member. We have Honorable Hakma Usu Ajiman as member. We have Dr. Lord Oblite Kwame as member. We have Madam Elizabeth Ohene as a member, and Mr. Evans Nimako as the member secretary for the vetting committee. Indeed, friends from the media, this is a piece of information that the New Patriotic Party is giving to the good people of Ghana and to our members in particular. Now, once again, we have officially opened nomination for all those who are aspiring to contest and to become our presidential candidates for the 2028 elections. Someone asked, so are they free to start going around to solicit for support and also to campaign to the rank and file of the party? Indeed, the decision of the party is that since we have an important by-elections coming up, which is Akwatia by-elections, we are all advised and also directed that our attention and focus is on the Akwatia by-elections. And aspiring candidates shall have the right to move around the country to campaign only after the Akwatia by-elections. Only after the Akwatia by-elections. And therefore, we are calling on everyone of this party, all those who are aspiring to contest, that their attention and focus and resources should be geared towards the New Patriotic Party, retaining our seat at Akwatia. And once we are done and win the Akwatia by-elections and retain our seat, aspirants will have the liberty, the right, and the freedom to move around the country to solicit for support and to campaign to the delegates for the presidential primaries. So on this note, I thank you very much for attending to our call, and God bless us any adolfo, Madam Assessor, and then Monya Adadie Namaba MPP, your headquarters. Oh, the Central Function Moi, Yanamo, Esiam Ewaha. The Koma Yedino, a Janama Yenuso, a Dikai, a normal Ecoso, our member. The Tosimino National Council is here the second high decision making body. Emma Osoko Kwame Kuno is here and Sema Yarisa Shamano said, me fan to Ghana for and the party food